How angry should the Bengals be with themselves for blowing the Super Bowl the way they did? So on the MALLER scale of anger, 1 to 10, we raise the temperature. This is an 8.5 on the MALLER scale of anger for Cincinnati. I've got first-class ticket, porterhouse, and church lady. And we will lock all of these things together, and that will be the foundation of this MALLER monologue. Now, number one. As you know, being here behind the microphones, we like to span the globe to bring you the constant variety of sports, which is pretty much just football, basketball, and baseball. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, the human drama of athletic competition. The better story is in the losing locker room for many. Now, the Rams, for me, this is the rare and appropriate exception where that's not the case. But the Bengals here, Joe Burrow and upstart Cincinnati had the game in the bag. They dropped the bag. It was in the bag. The interlopers, primed to be the champs of the world. It's going to be the same old Rams, right? All the trolls would have been out. I told you so. I told you Stafford was a bum. McVay will never win anything. Well, none of that happened. The Rams, they were reeling, playing on their heels. OBJ KO'd from the Super Bowl, injured relatively early in the game. Matthew Stafford looked dazed and confused. It was getting ugly. And it was getting late early for the Rams. Cincinnati simply had to make a few plays in the fourth quarter. They win the game. Just a few plays. And then Matthew Stafford went Lee Corso and said, "Not so fast, my friends." And still, even with that, Joe Burrow had the chance. He had the opportunity compared to Tom Brady and all these greats. And instead of making the plays, getting the Bengals down and getting a field goal or a touchdown to win the game, Burrow went on his phone. You're not supposed to do that during the day, during the game. And Joe Burrow bought a first-class ticket on the Vomit Comet. Could not get the job done on offense. The Bengals were completely shut down in the fourth quarter and shut out. Burrow, just 5 of 9 for 42 yards. That's an average of only 4.6 yards per attempt. No touchdowns, no interceptions, a passer rating below 70 in the final stanza. Deserved to lose the game. Matthew Stafford was better in the fourth quarter. At the end of the game, Joe Koo only had 1 touchdown pass. The other for Cincinnati was a trick play. And that is a demerit for Joe Burrow as Joe Mixon threw the touchdown pass. How humiliating for the Bengal hotshot quarterback. The coaching staff felt they needed a gimmick play in the Super Bowl, and they've got Joe Burrow. They didn't trust Burrow. They said, let's go with a trickeration play. It's alarming. It's very alarming. Now, the big picture, down the stretch, the moment proved to be too big for Joe Burrow. He's not ready. Joe Burrow's not ready. He soiled the diaper in this game. The orange and black offense, the last 5 drives of the game, needing only 1 play, one of those drives to be successful. Last 5 drives of the game. Punt, 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 punt. Turnover on downs. Disappearing into thin air. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Boom! Goes the Lombardi. Now, part 2 of this. Cincinnati, historically, if you do the whole franchise legacy, is now 0-3 in Super Bowls as a franchise. Heartbreak hotel yet again. At least they didn't lose to the 49ers this time. They lose to the Rams. However, the last 2 losses are ancient history. This latest defeat was written by Joe Burrow and friends. We are talking a porterhouse steak type of defeat. Now, what is a porterhouse steak type of defeat, you ask? I'm glad you asked. A porterhouse steak type of defeat is the type of defeat that gives you heartburn. It's going to stick to your ribs and your arteries. That's the type of defeat this was. Years from now, you'll be playing the yeah, but and the what if game. But if only that had happened, the Bengals had made that play, they'd won the game. Or what if Matthew Stafford had thrown another interception? Didn't happen. Second guessing yourself. The Cincinnati defense took advantage of the Rams being shorthanded without Odell Beckham. right up until they could not take advantage, compliments of Eli Apple and others, that fateful drive when the Bengals defense got sloppy and they turned into crumble cake. Crumble, crumble, crumble. All right, final point. So did the officials gift wrap the victory for the Rams? Now, this is one of the conspiracies that has popped up. People that don't want to admit they were wrong about the Rams winning the Super Bowl, so instead they're grasping at straws here. So to answer the question, did the officials gift wrap the victory of the Rams? You are exposing yourself. You're telling me you're a Bengals fanboy without telling me you're a Bengals fanboy, being enraged with a defensive holding penalty called against Cincinnati on a 3rd and goal during the game-winning drive. And as the church lady, the great character on Saturday Night Live back in the day, used to say, well, isn't that convenient? Right? Sweetheart of a deep state conspiracy theory. I find this one amusing. We can debunk this pretty easy. It's clear and obvious. There was a penalty. It was a good call. Anybody that knows football knows that was a good call against Cincinnati. We saw a couple of really good calls by the referees. Let them play most of the game, but in the final minutes, you tighten up your calls. Eli Apple, we knew this guy was not a good defensive back. That's why he's bounced around. He's been a vagabond in the NFL. And the Bengals got away with him for a while. They got away with Eli Apple, the poisonous apple. But eventually they had to take a bite out of that apple, and it bit him in the ass. And the Bengals have nothing to complain about as far as the officials. The defense still had opportunities, even if you think that call, the defensive holding penalty was wrong, and I don't, but defensively you still had opportunities. All you got to do is keep the Rams out of the end zone. That's all. The Rams need a touchdown. They're not going to kick a field goal. Just keep them out of the end zone, win the game. Keep them out of the end zone, win the game. Couldn't do it. Could not keep the Rams out of the end zone. Could not win the game. And that's it. And then on offense, even after the Rams scored a touchdown, minute 25, 2 timeouts, Joe Burrow, are you kidding me? Sign me up for that if you're the Bengals. Couldn't get it done. So the idea that this somehow matches up to like the Talk Rule game or the Music City Miracle or the Holy Roller or the Immaculate Reception is horse crap. As they say in the Pigskin Bible, the zebras giveth and the zebras taketh away. Because I will direct your attention now to T. Higgins, who literally grabbed the face mask of Jalen Ramsey, could have given him whiplash, and then scored a 75-yard bogus touchdown. Bogus touchdown for Cincinnati. Wasn't called. Let him play. All right, officials let him play. I was worried Jalen Ramsey could be paralyzed from the neck down. It was such a horrible play by T. Higgins. The officials let him get away with it. There's no way that play should have counted, but it did. So this is the case where bad calls even out. The Bengals got one. The Rams, you can say, got one if you want to play that game. By the way, if you take away the 75-yard touchdown pass play from Burrow to T. Higgins, then you look at Burrow's stat line, it's cover your eyes bad. Cover your eyes bad. Because outside of that play, which should not have happened, had the officials called the play properly, bogus touchdown, Burrow would have finished that game with 188 yards, 5.6 yards per attempt, and a passer rating below 80. Not exactly the stuff of legends